can, but at that point I'll interject again and just say there's a certain amount, obviously, that I want you to, if you want to be able to disclose to other people, but there's also a lot that I don't want you to disclose to other people. So I'll make that clear at the point when we get to characters.
Brad, sorry to. Is it possible to do dice rolling a little bit quicker? Simply because I've got about an hour, and I know that we could get lost in talking about the other bits and pieces, which obviously is very important.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What I'll do then is about an hour. So about, what's that, 8:30?
Yeah, just about 8:30.
Okay, I'll try and keep that in mind, and if I need to jump off a bit the other way doing, and we jump to characters and do dice rolling and possibly get you first.
Thank you.
That's fine.
I'm recording, by the way, if that's all right.
Cool. No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Fine by me.
well.
Does everyone else sign their slips to say they're okay to be recorded?
No, I haven't actually.
I would like my face to be blurred.
I've already signed mine, Stuart, and put it in the post that says I want royalties.
Candy, this is not OnlyFans. You're all right.
So to start off with, one thing I always do it when I DM anyway, is I am going to put myself on screen. I had a shave just so.
Oh,
so
where would we see him?
There he is.
I don't know how you're going to be able to do it in terms of screens, because you've effectively got Discord. The main three things I'm expecting you to have open is Foundry, is D&D Beyond, and is Discord. That doesn't mean you have to have them on the screen all times. That's up to you guys how you manage that, essentially. They're the main three things we're using. Anything else, I don't think I've got anything else. So that's the main three things I'm expecting to be using. Obviously, you can use all the web pages you want and that kind of stuff, but that's what I'm expecting. And as I said, I normally put on my camera because I kind of feel like some people like to see me in my descriptions and things like that, and I can wave about and all sorts of other things. So it's up to people if they want to view that. You don't have to. There's no vital thing to be able to view that, but I do put it on anyway. In terms of, obviously you're all quiet at the moment, but if we've got any questions, by all means do interject with anything you need to ask or know or anything like that.
Don't say Stuart can ask questions. He will do.
He's only got an hour. Come on.
I will also try to keep moving it along like Stuart said, because I don't want it to take all night, and I know I could quite easily get too wordy with all the other stuff we've got to do. So to quickly kind of start on the first thing, world kind of description. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move you all over to the world map. Which sure.
Here we go.
What have we got? Who have I not got? I'm just going to add the other people to it. I want to quickly see whether this is going to cause a really long time to load. We already know it does a bit. I just want to check it with all 6 of us, because I'm also kind of partly doing some tests today as well. And I've probably got another way I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's all. That should be all of you. So I'm now gonna essentially bring you all onto that map.
Right, for some unknown reason, it's kicked me out of the game, but not kicked me out of the game because I can't click on my login.
Thank you, Dave.
So you're seeing the login screen, but you can't actually click on it.
Yeah.
Try it. Will F5 put it back right again? Try pressing F5. It refreshes it. And there's always a chance there's going to be some extra things.
It's not letting me back in for some reason.
What about if you exit out the web page altogether and come back in?
Just done it.
And still nothing?
Yeah.
Try
again.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, I can continue exploring.
Okay, so essentially what I've done is I've put you all on the world map. Has everyone loaded in yet?
95% on that, mate.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in.
I was in ages ago.
I was as well.
Chris hasn't loaded. Anyone else?
Yeah, me.
Because I've actually
95%.
come back into the game, so.
I think I can see.
Is this actually the world that we're
This
going to
is
be
roughly
playing?
the world. So those who can't see it yet, you'll get to see it in a minute when it loads. It won't take that long. Also, this is a huge map. This is essentially 4K, larger than 4K style map. It's also another reason why I'm wary on using a full map like this. There are other ways I can do it, and there are ways I'm testing and stuff, so I will see what I can do. But effectively, I've given you this map, which is essentially stages ago. This is not the map I have as my most up-to-date map, so I would have essentially changed stuff on here. So this is roughly what I'm giving you as a map. I'm roughly giving this on purpose because I don't want you to have a full world map. As I explained before, in terms of the map, you are going to get opportunities to get maps. You are going to start with a map of what your character knows, and there is going to be different means for getting maps. But some of those maps might be bad drawn by cartographers. They might be wrong, stuff like that. So essentially, maps will be involved. I'm going to try and keep them to not the normal standard, just because I want to see how that changes with play. Right now is essentially a Luminor. Is the whole world of a Luminor.
Right.
Like I said before, there's only so much regarding description. There is the world will kind of essentially had a creation process, which largely does involve kind of large spirits. I won't give you the necessaries into all their history and stuff like that, but essentially the world does have a very spiritual presence around it. There is an actual spiritual realm that could play part in different things that happen. Again, as you guys as the party very much dictate how the play goes. But what you're looking at right now is rough outlines of what the world could be. Like I said,
I can't see it because I've got a bloody halfling, Brad. So would you be able to, would you want to either make it daylight or give me dark?
Where are you? Is there anyone else? Hold on, I can just make it so.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
I can make the world all goes right. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
You
should be able to see everything now.
That spoils my
lovely
my exploration.
Yeah, I was wandering around as well, David.
So in effect, this is roughly the world map, and the world map is split up into 2 larger continents. And in them continents, there's going to be separate kind of realms or kind of like factions, if you like. There isn't a particular story going on in the world at the moment. It isn't war torn and everything else. The world itself is somewhat peaceful, so you're not going to be walking into a war torn world. That doesn't mean
until we arrive.
Yeah, you guys will walk through an anarchy ensues. And in terms of the languages, like I explained, is that the languages there's not necessarily there is going to kind of be a common language in the background, but the common language for the most part I'm going to rip out because I want to put in 2 main languages. So the common language, what you would normally get as a common language, I'm going to split into 2 major ones. There are 2 major factions, one on the north side, one on the south side, which are essentially like the common language been split into 2, almost like if you want 2 human races that have had rough history that have broken away into 2 halves. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're at war, but there's definitely always tensions between the different realms. In total, in terms of realms, you're probably about 5 or 6 different realms, essentially, across the whole entirety of this map. And as I said, I'm only giving you a kind of brief outline at the moment because when I write up your characters, I'll give you the details relevant to your characters, which will probably be different per each person. Anything else to add to that? Yeah, like I said, in terms of maps, the journeys themselves are going to be more important. Hence why I'm not giving you a world map as well, because I don't want you to end up with that situation where you're at a city, you see another city, and you almost teleport point to point. The journey itself is going to be important. I am going to be putting. I have kind of got a way of doing it whereby I do roll random encounters and all sorts of things like that. I have extra tables and stuff that I used before for it, which works out quite nicely. Sometimes I may choose not to use them. Sometimes I may choose to use them or use them even more.
So we will get Final Fantasy type moving across the continent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay. Exactly what I had in mind.
It will be dependent on where you're kind of going, what you're traveling through, that sort of stuff. I may choose to think this area is dangerous, this area is dangerous, and then there's multiple kind of points I'm going to be rolling to see, or I might just roll. Quite often, what I'll also do as a DM is I'll roll dice and they won't even mean anything, and other times I'll roll them and they will mean something. You won't know.
Just to keep us on their toes.
Yeah, so if you hear me rolling dice, it could be nothing, or it could be something. You won't know.
Just sneaky.
That's mostly it for the actual world description. I'm not giving you too much more because I want you to kind of play in the world and start to learn the world. So again, another thing I've got somewhere else on there to explain.
Sorry, Brad. You said about the common languages. You mentioned that they were like 2 different factions. So, like, assume they're like North Common and South Common.
Yeah.
If we pick a language and it's common, do we get to speak both of them, or do we have to pick which one we're going to speak?
What's going to happen between the two of them is both of them will have. It's almost like Spanish and Portugal. There will be crossover, so you will be able to partly between them two languages specifically. It will be more difficult to talk to someone from the other half of that language, but you will be able to speak to someone else from there. Those two are the only two close ones. Other than that, there's loads of different languages. And when I mean I'm not adding in common, I mean in different areas you travel to, you may find it more difficult to speak to people.
Whoever's got the massive packet of crisps, could you keep it away from the microphone, please?
Yeah, just while Bradley's explaining the important thing about the languages for the whole world, which might mean that we can't actually communicate with anyone in certain regions.
What? I didn't hear
a bag someone's opened up a 36 bag of crisps.
No, I opened up a bag of sweets.
So in terms of your party, there is a good chance that your party would end up not being able to talk to each other. So like I was talking to Adam the other day and I said, what I think I'm going to do is, even though it breaks the kind of illusion of it, I think I'm just going to say that your party can all talk to each other rather than try and finagle everything so you've got the same language and stuff like that. It might turn out you have all got the same language and then it's fine. But in that instance, I think I'm just going to be like happy enough that you guys will all be able
with everyone keeping their races and stuff all secret squirrel, we're probably all going to be the same race.
No, you can see that. That's the only thing I think you can see that in classes.
Yeah, you can see the race.
Yeah.
You can see the race, class, level,
and subclass,
and chit chat and name. They're the things you can see. So that gives you an idea, if you haven't created a character or decided yet, that gives you an idea on roughly what the party makeup is. But that's all the information you're pretty much going to be given as a definite. On from that, as I said, the language thing is more to kind of create more of an atmosphere than anything. If it becomes a major problem and you don't feel like you can speak to anyone because of it, I don't think that is going to be the case. I've already seen enough languages being looked at and picked and stuff like that. If that does become a case, then I'll slightly change it because obviously we don't really want that. But I think it'll be fine. And other than that, that's pretty much it. All I was going to go over for world description. I'm going to leave you on that world page for now. And I'm just going to quickly run through kind of stuff to do with homebrew rules. So quickly run through it. If anyone doesn't understand anything or wants some extra explanation, Candy, I can obviously talk to you another time if there's lots you want to know. Mm-hmm. But to quickly kind of run through it, if anyone wants to pick up on something and have a quick chat now, that's fine. But if there's anything larger, I'll go over it up at another time with anyone. So obviously you've all seen them. The advancements by milestones, not XP. I wanted to quickly definitely explain that in as much as, for me, a great kind of thing I saw the other day was a video where essentially there was someone saying he's a wizard. He essentially goes into a place and he goes into like a wizard's place and effectively wants to learn more spells, to which kind of gets responded, we don't learn spells, we to go and attack things to progress. I don't want that kind of idea of things. I don't want progression to be something that's too heavily there. Obviously, we all want to progress. We want to get better in that sense. But I try to look at it as I'm trying to make sure you guys can do enough in terms of what kind of level you are. So in that regard, I will slightly balance things in certain areas to make sure that it does feel like you are capable at what you're doing. Because also in terms of levels, those milestones could take ages to get to. If all you did was mingle around one town for weeks and weeks and weeks, you wouldn't necessarily level. The same goes for fighting as well. So when you're actually fighting a group of creatures, normally you'd be expecting loot, normally you'd be expecting XP. For me, the fights are more part of the story, part of something in your way, that kind of stuff. For instance, you could, if you wanted to try and avoid every fight, I'll tell you now, it's definitely not going to be possible, but you could. And it wouldn't bother me if you did so. If you do that, you will definitely be possibly missing out on things at times. Because when I do set up some fights, I set up some fights with in mind that this is the fight that I try and balance the amount of gold you lot have got. So if all of a sudden I see you just don't have enough gold, I may pick out a fight, and in that one particular, they're carrying a chest of goods or whatever. So if you want to kind of avoid fights because they look too dangerous, by all means do. but at the same time, don't feel you actually have to take fights. You can just bypass them, and if you're successful at bypassing them.
I'm just asking, what is it called?
And like I said, the milestones themselves in terms of leveling, for the most part, there'll be probably a milestone for each of you because of your narrative, your story, that kind of thing. All your stories are not going to be really, really long, level 20 kind of stories. I will essentially look to set some of them earlier, that kind of stuff. But on top of that, I'm going to be giving you quests. I'm going to be giving you other things to do. Again, it's your kind of choice if you choose what to take. You could look at that quest and think that's just nonsense, I don't want to do it. As a group, you can choose kind of what you're doing, but effectively there will be other milestones in there as well. So if there's a particular dungeon story-esque thing, there could be a milestone at the end of that. In terms of your level at the moment, you're level 2, and I am looking to probably get you to level 3 without too much time. I want you to get into the world, get comfortable with the world, get comfortable how I do it, and then I'll be looking to hopefully get you to level 3. So that initial kind of bit will jump quite fast, but the levels won't be paced at the same rate. So the next level may be a lot longer that you have to go through it. So do keep that in mind. It's not going to be like a constant same value of how long it takes you to level. So try and enjoy your character for what they are at that time, rather than just the progression. To go on to some of the next things, flanking is obvious. It's +1 if you're in a flanking position, +2 if you surround the creature. And when I mean surround the creature, it means at least 4 sides. If there's a big creature that's a 2x2 creature, if you're on 4 sides, I'll consider that as all on all 4 sides. It's kind of the idea of ganging up, essentially.
What's the method, Brad, for the +2?
+2 is essentially ganging up on the creature if you want all 4 sides. So if you're against the creature that is a 2x2 square or a 3x3 square, as long as you've got one essentially flanking on both sides, so one on top, one on right, one on left, one on bottom, that's considered ganging up, and that will get all of you +2 if you get in that position. It also means then in terms of flanking, if I take one of you down, you all lose flanking, so being aware of each other is also very important as well. Moving on from that, as I said, I'm going to keep going at the speed. Moving on from that is the encumbrance, the weight. The weight is worked out quite nicely for us in D&D Beyond, hence why we're keeping most of the character sheet stuff to D&D Beyond. But D&D Beyond itself are going to have different things where we may want to do them in Foundry. I'll explain them at some point, but we don't need to know too much yet. But essentially, in D&D Beyond, the weight stuff is very usefully done for us. And it is a big deal. So in terms of the weight and what you expect from the normal rules, the weight does make a big difference. So if you do have low strength, you really are going to feel it, for instance. But the best way is once you get stats and you put a stat in there, chuck starting equipment in there, you'll be able to see what that amount is. There are some different means that can help with encumbrance, things like magical bags, all that sort of stuff. There are extra options as well of things that I'm putting in. So again, homebrew stuff, I'm adding all sorts of different things to help balance up certain areas that I feel may need it. I'm also going to put in D&D Beyond, I'm going to add homebrew for some normal general rations, of which you're going to be allowed to have 7. So 7 is your normal rations kind of amount, which is the amount that doesn't add to the weight. So if you have anything over 7 rations, that's when it starts to add to the weight. So what I'm essentially going to do is make a separate in your character sheet, which is general rations. And as long as you've got 7, then it's not weighing you anything. If you want more than 7, any of those on top then are going to cost in terms of weight. So that's essentially a week's worth of food each time. And we'll see how it goes, whether it slightly changes. Like I said, there will be some things that may change. I won't go over these next lot of rules, but they are in it. So effectively, cover, you can be hit if you're essentially shooting over someone's shoulder, you can potentially hit that person, but they're using the cover rules that are in the DM's guide. On top of that, there is also some other things that are in there. One of them I took out, so if you look at the whole list in the DM's guide, if you could, you wouldn't see it in my list because I took it out, and that one's called marking creatures. That one I've taken out, but there is disarm, overrun, shove aside, tumble, climb onto a larger creature. These are all extra things you can do in combat. But as I said, if you want to know what they are, ask me at a later date and we can go through them a little bit more. I can tell you and show you where they are.
So again, disarm. Sorry, I'm writing this down. Disarm what?
They're on the title page of the campaign. I listed them all there. These are. I'm just going through. I listed on
DM notes. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah.
No, on the right hand
Look on
side.
D&D Beyond, and look at the campaign.
Yeah, underneath the characters there is all this stuff I'm going through now, because these are the obvious homebrew rules I've changed. So they just add to the combat. They give you more things you can do in combat, because essentially tumble lets you go through creature squares. Climb onto larger creatures could be great fun. So essentially someone trying to hang hold onto an ogre, that kind of thing, could be great fun. But as I said, I'm not going to go into them in any more detail. The next bit kind of touches on examples of things that I make in terms of things like new toolkits, new weapons, new different kind of items that might not necessarily be magic items, but might be additional items to the stories as such, just to flesh out things and give you some extra options at times. And if there is something you've got in mind, some sort of Urukai type sword or something like that, some sort of thing that's different from normal, then definitely ask me and I can look to add things in. But there's just a little example of what them things are. In terms of sleeping, they're pretty much the usual rules you know. They're in Xanathar's. It's the kind of rules for no sleeping is generally going to be exhaustion. And if you're sleeping in your armor, that's going to mean you get less dice back, less of your hit dice back. I know all this sounds confusing to you, Candy. I can definitely go through this more at another time. In terms of looting, I've essentially put down the kind of characters I'm going to be using against you. They could be wearing leather armor, they could be wearing chain armor. If they do drop something like that, unless I'm specifically going to state that armor has been damaged in some way because of how hard you've hit them, them things will be lootable as such. So if you start off and you want some sort of better heavy armor, and I put you up against someone with heavy armor, there is a potential you are going to get to loot that heavy armor. So keep that in mind when you're blasting them, that you don't blast them to smithereens and then all of a sudden that armor's gone. That is the thing that I will allow. In regards to that, though, I'm also make sure that people are not hoarding equipment. So obviously, like we do in Skyrim and everything, I don't want us to hoard everything. One, you might be able to because of the weight anyway. And two, I'm asking you not to, in the sense that I'm already going to kind of try to make sure you're wealthy enough. I'm not going to make you rich, but I'm going to make you wealthy enough. I'm going to make sure that you're not poor and you can't even order food or drinks at an inn sort of thing. So you shouldn't really need to hoard, but there is going to be stuff there for you to be able to get if you need to. Including possible extra arrows, bolts, all that sort of stuff. Moving on to eating and drinking. Eating and drinking normally I do where it can just be skipped over and you could just go eat in this bar. Job done if you want. Especially if you want to keep the game moving in some way because you've already been messing about with something else. That's not a problem, but at the same time I'm happy enough if you actually want to RP it. You go into this really nice place. We've done it before. You go into this really nice place, really fancy. You sit down and you potentially go and find, because at the same time in my kind of campaign what's kind of going on is as you go into somewhere, you may meet certain people. Those certain people may have extra quests, extra information, and all that sort of stuff. So some of that will be relevant. So even though you may want to skip over certain things, there is also extra information and extra useful kind of reasons why to RP some of this stuff. As I said, I like to kind of I like to encourage that you are RPing stuff. And what I mean by that is you don't have to have an accent of your character, but talking in character as opposed to talking as a player generally is quite good. As I said before, it also gives me a break from being a DM, which is constant go, 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 go. If you guys start talking to each other, work out your plans, work out where you want to go next. And if you're RPing it, it takes just a little bit longer. It gives me a couple of minutes break generally in that time. You will need to eat and drink. So if you're RPing it or if you're just skipping it but going somewhere, as long as you're saying to me, we go have breakfast here, we have dinner here, that sort of stuff, that counts. So you don't have to use rations. If you guys all skip that, then I might point out to you, you've not told me you've eaten today, so you're going to waste rations. So kind of keep that in mind as you play. I'm sure that will all go normally though. Last thing, well, one or two more things. The balance of danger, I will slightly balance things towards your level, because obviously I don't want you to walk into a white dragon, adult white dragon, that's just madness. But there could be potentially a white dragon flying overhead in the distance. Who you could potentially anger. So you are in a world that is bigger than your level. Okay, so you're in a world bigger than your level, but in terms of you going through a forest, I will obviously look. There'll be times when I may put you up against something that is just outright too difficult. You need to judge that when you're there. You need to think this is definitely not something for us. So if they hit you once and you run, in most instances, I'm not going to be brutal and just make sure you can't get away. If I do it, it will be something that you can get away from or stuff like that. I'm generally going to throw you lots of curveballs, and I'm hopefully not going to TPK you because you will do the wrong thing when I'm expecting something else. So I'll obviously keep in mind. But if you go into a town, those guards are not going to be set to your level. They're going to be set to what should be in the town. So think of it in terms of the world. If you're in a world and it's a little farming community, maybe the fighter who's guarding the town is only level 5. You go into a big town, you might be coming up to 12th level, 15th level, something like that. Probably not 15th level, more like 12th. So be wary of that, because that's a definite thing. If you end up causing loads of trouble in town and then going up against some guards, those guards may only need one of them to wipe out all of you. So definitely be wary. In terms of traps, like I pointed out before, I accept perception or investigation. So investigation basically means that you are moving about looking for a trap. You're putting your hands across walls to essentially find a trap, which means there's a risk of you setting it off, or it is that you're using your perception. So you're not moving or not moving very far. You're looking, or you're looking like that, then you're going to get disadvantage. So you're either getting disadvantage on perception or you're at risk with using investigation. Obviously, if you're very good at this, like a rogue, that probably won't be a problem. But if you pick rogue, that's going to be probably more relevant. Last thing I've got on this list is the challenge rating system. The challenge rating system is essentially what amount of monsters I can put against you. Like I said, I'm already going to be throwing some things at you that I know may be too hard, maybe too easy. But I'm using that as more as a guide rather than a specific rule. I'm not going to be adhering to exactly what it tells me to do, because I've already seen it in the past. So, as I said, I'm going to start off. You may run over some things, and then I'll feel the balance of what your party can and can't handle. In terms of rules and homebrew, that's pretty much most of what I was going to go through. As I said, I know some of you already heard these things before, but I did want to go over them. I'm just going to look through these next few points in terms of expectations, because I've already pointed out a few of these. I'm going to look just to make sure there's nothing else there, so then we can kind of get onto character stuff.
On a note about voice acting, I expect Stuart to do a voice. Just pin out there. I'll be very disappointed if not.
Voices.
Yep.
It's already using one on the Sunday. He's going to get confused and use the wrong voices in the wrong games.
I'll be fine.
Bring the same voice in.
Brad, did you get the voice that I sent to you?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of that, but I'm not sure. It's a lot of effort.
Yes, that's why I'm slightly wary, is that some things may be cool to start with and then they may just get too much. If you want to start it off like that, maybe, but definitely keep in mind it may become too much. I'd rather you enjoy the game rather than have to come and feel like you're putting on a stage show. Because I'm not going to be doing.
Sorry, Brad, have you met me?
Yes, of course. But what I mean is, I'm not going to be doing loads of voices. I definitely would do some voices here and there. I'm sure I've done some different ones every now and again, but I'm not great at voices. So,
what, like did with the squirrels, was it?
Yeah.
Well, high pitched a bit.
Extremely high pitched, and called me a gay wanker.
Something like that. Yeah.
Remember Brian Conley with the puppet?
Yes.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
Very much like that. So in terms of expectations, I've got different expectations here. Most of them I've kind of spoke to you about before. So I want the game to be more of a story kind of based game and less of a metagaming type game. So there will be instances where I may change a rule. A good example for those who were in it is the game, obviously, when we all got caught in a tunnel and no one wanted to walk past the other person because who could shoot, who could move, all that sort of stuff. In my mind, first of all, I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I may just turn around and say, for this moment, you don't.
It's not difficult terrain.
Yeah, so I may change a rule like that just for a short period of time, just to make sure that sort of stuff doesn't happen. Because I'd rather it just continue rather than have that. In terms of what I'm trying to emphasize is, I do want you to be thinking more about what your character wants to do rather than looking through the rules and thinking, what can I do? Because as I said, in certain instances, there's a means of getting advantage, disadvantage, and different things like that for effectively how you describe how you do things rather than looking through the book at each specific thing. That said, in terms of rules, the best way to look at it is I am pretty much using most of the rules you guys would expect from the books. Unless I've noted it down here somewhere otherwise. Obviously hiding I haven't noted down, and we'll just have to get a feel for that as we go. But for the most part, most of the rules, just count them as normal unless I've said otherwise till now, because otherwise it'd be really confusing. You won't know what you're quite doing. So go with normal rules unless I've said otherwise. And as we go through, if there's big rules, I'll try and tell you beforehand. But I'm pretty much using the rules from the book as I believe they were intended, not specifically as they're written. So that's why I'm saying some of them will be slightly different. But for the most part, go with what you know for the books for now.
I've got a request.
Yeah, go on.
If it's okay. The 360 perception.
Yeah.
If we come up on and surprise someone, especially with a rogue who's being brave and going.
So the way I'm doing the 360 is, again, that sort of sense of the narrative character intentions. The intentions of giving everyone 360 in terms of the rules in the book, I consider it just to make the game easier. But if you've got a DM who's happy to kind of go, this guy's looking over there, I'm not looking behind me, I'm looking over there. At that point, your rogue wants to sneak up. I've already stated I'm looking over there, I'm not looking behind me. So the 360 rule at that point doesn't necessarily matter, because the narrative kind of thing, as I said, the rules intended for me make more sense.
Yeah, if for example, if their passive perception is 12 and you've rolled a stealth check of 20, and they got their back to you, then and you're coming up in, say, for example, in open ground, then they should know that you're coming.
If you're walking directly at them, then I'm less likely to let you. But if you're
correct,
trying to find
behind them,
say that again.
But from behind them, if you're sneaking up from behind them,
then I'll be more likely to look at it as, yes, you're definitely, like, essentially I'm looking at it as a DM. Are you making the effort to get to that person in the way reasonable that would essentially say that you've managed to sneak up to them based on what you're skilled to be able to do? If you rolled a good sneak roll and you're making an effort, then yes. But if you've made a roll and then you just want to walk straight across the courtyard, then I'm probably not gonna. As I said, that's gonna be
shit. And like you roll a 2 and their passive perception's 12, they're going to hear you coming, sort of thing, from behind them. That's all. Sweet.
At the same time, it depends on the situation. It might be very cool, that situation, where I may give you an extra disadvantage in that sort of situation. So, as I said, the hiding one is difficult to define, but know that the way I want people to be essentially playing their characters is to be able to enjoy them as I see the character should be played as such. Like, so rogues should be able to sneak, and other people should be able to cast spells, and just the way the character was designed to be played. So I'm gonna try to be not hampering people too much on the way that the character should be played. Same as like monks, in the sense, I'm not gonna make it so that all of a sudden every drop they drop down, there's spikes at the bottom, so they can't use slow for one. I'm not going to do that. I want people to be able to play the characters and enjoy what it is they are going to play. But as I said, the hiding rule is a difficult one to define. So overall, just know that the rules we normally play for hiding, they're not necessarily my rules. To give you a rough sum of the rules in terms of hiding is that, yes, if you're doing something obvious, you are going to be seen. In terms of hiding, there is generally going to be a hide roll that you're going to roll. That hide roll is going to be blind. It is going to be to me, because I don't want you to know it, so that you then decide, oh, well, I rolled a 2, I'm not going to hide. Even if you see the roll and you say, I'm not going to be like that, people can still end up doing it. So I'm just going to take the stealth rolls as blind, because it frees up a lot of that. In that regard as well, I'm also going to say, because we had this last time, if someone else like Stuart has got a passive perception of 12 and you only roll an 8, technically I'm not going to necessarily just say to that person that you are visible, obviously. But the person who does have 12, do know that you can see them. You are able to see them. They're not hiding particularly well. Unless they've moved away. If they've moved away, at that point, I will consider it as no. But if you're standing in the bush next to them standing in the bush and you've rolled lower than their passive perception, they can see you. You haven't made enough of effort. Just like I said, when you come around a courtyard, hiding behind barrels, hiding in shadows, columns, using distractions to your advantage, this kind of stuff. So effectively, the person who can see you can essentially just tug on your shoulder and go, that's not a very good job. I will accept that, but not when you're moved away from them. So when you moved away from them, I'm going to consider it more that you actually no longer can be seen very easily by that party member. They will have to kind of do something for you to be able to be seen, as it were. But like I said, them rules are going to be definitely hard for me to define completely. So I'm not going to do it at the moment because it would take too long. But do know that I do want people to be able to do hiding and stuff like that, to be able to do stealth, for there to be distractions and that kind of stuff. It also lends to the party in the sense that parties can cause distractions, which then actually have some circumstance to whether the rogue can do what they want to do. So in that regard as well, again, there's the other thing in that I like to have people who describe what they want to do in battle. But obviously that can become too much. We'll find how that works in battle, in the sense that I will give descriptions, quick descriptions of, oh, this kind of happens like this happens like this. But I'll be using it every now and again. And the same is, I want you guys to think about it as players. If you want to be able to try and jump on someone's back, if you want to try and be able to swing around a column to be able to hit someone, definitely kind of give me them things. Don't just go with the standard. If you give me them sort of things, they can be the things that could potentially you could succeed at from a roll and then potentially win an inspiration point from. So don't be afraid to kind of give me creative ideas on how you're going about the fighting. But obviously too much is too much. So I'll try and keep that under balance. But again, we'll only know that as we're proceeding forward through it. Another thing just to point out again is in that sort of sense of where I'm trying to keep you working as a party, there's going to be lots of different times when I'll give certain people information. I might give half the party information because they were the ones that's there. I will be typing to some of you. I may have already typed up stuff and then I'll send you stuff through Discord. So it means you can read through it, and then your intention of whether you relate to the party or how you relate to the party, that will come down to your decision and how you want to do it, or whether you want to hold that information so you feel important so you can lead it in this way. It's up to you. But I definitely do try to give out information at certain times to different people for different reasons, but obviously relevant to what's happening. I'm not going to randomly hand someone this and saying this is what's now going on. It's going to be relevant to what's going on, but do note that I am going to be trying to give people different information, again, just to help with that kind of in-party play and kind of giving people sort of roles and stuff. I guess the only other thing in terms of expectations is, for the most part, I'm playing for everyone to have fun. I have fun seeing what you guys do with what I give you, but ultimately we all want to have fun. So as long as we're all having fun, that's going to be great. I'm sure there may be issues at times when someone is upset by something that's happened, and that will certainly happen. That's just the way D&D is as a game. And I hope that that's more you're upset with dice rolls and stuff like that rather than upset with the DM or another player. If there is any major problem, I will look to get involved in it or something like that. So I'm sure there won't be. We're all good friends anyway. But as I said, essentially we're all looking to have fun. So that's my main thing, is that we are all having fun.
Hold on, I've just come back to this. Who's causing trouble?
You.
You just come back to
Always
this.
you.
Trouble then.
We're saying if Stuart causes trouble.
Okay, yeah, that's plausible.
Other than that, does anyone else have anything in terms of expectations, what they hope to see in the game, what they hope to see from other players or anything like that? Does anyone have anything else they want to add?
Preferential treatment to me. Higher rolls on my dice.
I'm going to have your narcissistic tendencies as a dice roll.
That's you fucked then, Stu.
Sorry, Keith, what, mate?
I said, that's you fucked then.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I guess that's pretty much it then. We're diving into characters. Unless anyone else got anything they want to add.
No.
I'm dying to get on with characters.
No. Yeah.
So
want to do rolls because I've got to go in 20 minutes.
The way we're going to do rolls effectively is, if you've got your own dice and you get a web camera, you can do that. If you don't, then I'm going to ask you to do a share screen quickly while I see your 6 rolls on Discord.
Adam, you're recording it, yeah?
I am.
All right, good. All right, I'm going to come out of this Discord and go into Discord on my phone.
Okay. Stuart's trying to give himself every chance possible not to have terrible stats. So let me just quickly write down. I'm going to write it in Discord. I'm going to write it. Oh, actually, can I click in it? Yeah, I can. I'm going to quickly write it in Discord so you can see it. The specifics on the dice rolling.
I think I need to go get a Bible. Put my dice on.
So first 3
How do I get this camera up?
equals.
Is that right there in the camera, Brad? Or am I just being stupid?
I can see
You
it.
are.
I can see it. You just haven't clicked on. You've probably got me clicked on. Rather, click on my picture and it'll come up and show you all of them, and you'll see yours.
Okay.
So.
Aha. No, that's not me. Stuart. Oh, Stuart. 1.
Oh, I see.
2.
Now hold on a moment. I'm not looking yet. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I can see Stuart. I can see.
Oh, look at that.
It's 2018.
Yeah, he rolled 4 ones. I saw it.
How do I put on the camera?
Don't.
I don't do it.
What for Discord?
What, on your phone, Chris?
No, not on my phone. On my. Oh, maybe I'll do it on my phone.
Yeah, you probably could. If you want to switch over to that, that's fine. I don't
do it on
mind
my
that.
phone.
-1. And then...
Your phone as well, Stu?
Yeah, I've done it on my phone because I left my camera at work.
Okay, mate. I've got my camera in, but I can't bother to set it all up now.
When you say you left your camera at work, does that mean you didn't steal one from work?
Yeah, I did. I stole one from work and I put it in my bag. And then I left my bag at work.
Oh dear.
Okay, so a quick explanation. So essentially, you're rolling the first 3 dice are going to depend on whether you're going to get a bonus or a negative. There are 2 instances where you could have too many points. I do have a rough number in mind of how many that is. I'm only going to tell you afterwards of what is too low and what is too high. But I'm not going to let you know that yet. I'll let you know it kind of later when we're finished, just so I can tell only you. But for the most part, as I said, the thing I've kind of put in place should just put the probabilities of you getting somewhere more middle rather than really awful. And in terms of the negative, if you do manage to hit the negative and you have to minus points, remember that you could have quite easily been the opposite way around and needing points. So it's kind of like a give and take sort of thing. I understand if someone don't want to lose them, but I'm trying to keep it that one person too good.
Discord on my phone.
You'd be a nuisance to everyone else. And with that, Stuart, if you want to be the first one to go, so you, as I said before, you're essentially rolling 4 dice.
Yeah.
And you're the lowest of those 4 dice you're going to take away. And what you're going to then do is
I'm just going to log back on my phone. Be right back.
Okay, so you're going to roll the 4 dice and minus away the lowest one, and once you've done that, that's your first result, and then you're going to get 6 results like that. The first 3 are going to determine how many extra points or less points you're going to get.
Okay.
All those 6 abilities are yours to choose where they go. So
okay.
Start your rolls.
All right, I'm going to go now then.
Yeah.
Oh. 40.
Good one.
How do I set it up so it's not flipping?
I'm going to roll my Bible.
You need a Bible.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 9.
9, yeah.
Candy and a Mickey Mouse.
Oh my fucking God.
What's that?
Are you sure we can't roll ones again?
No, we're just a bit.
5.
Remember what I said, if it goes too low, I may thing it anyway, so there's still a chance even then. So that's
Right, roll 4. Fucking hell, 11.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I should have known Stuart's direness.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
Go on, Stu.
16.
Bang.
Okay, you may be under the threshold just as a starting dog. Let me get everyone else's
Who
in
knew?
first. And then I'll send you whether I get you to do something slightly different here. Because it does look like even if I add 4 to that, that's not going to be enough. If you could do me a favour, Stuart, and add up what the first 3 are, and then add up what all 6 of mine, you can tell me in a minute when I go on to the next person.
All right, I'll text you.
Who have I got next? Who's next?
I'm coming back into Discord now.
Chris, I've got you next.
He's got his dice. Who's next?
You and Chris, I've got you next on the screen. I'm just going to go by the order I've got it up there. Candy,
Hold on, I'm going to come back in.
Hold on, let me.
Oh, that was a good view you had there. Who just killed the?
Chris.
Was that Chris? Did he kill it?
What did
just
I have?
before the roll. We can't see the rolls now.
The camera's gone.
No, you're coming back. Where you go? You go that way.
There you go. We're We're on the Amazon box, yeah.
Can you see it? Oh, you can see the Amazon box,
Yeah, just move the tray the other way a little bit, mate.
To
The
the
other way,
right.
the other way. Oh my god.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. No, too far.
Stop.
Yeah,
Just leave it there.
Yeah. Stop that.
We can see everything. Someone go round.
All right, Dad, you ready?
Yeah.
2, 3, 5, 4,
12.
So that's 12.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Oh shit. 11.
Still not too bad. Yeah.
Next 3. Oh, bad. Oh, fuck
Yikes.
me. Oh,
Oh.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Okay, so that's 6, mate.
Oh, bloody hell.
You did as well as me, mate. I got a 5.
He's still got 2 chances, though.
Oh, okay, so that's 12. 14.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one more, have I?
Yes, one more.
Yeah, okay. Come on, boy. No, that's terrible. Okay, so 6, that's 9.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, same again. If you count what the first, you didn't.
I didn't write them down, mate.
I'll do that in a minute. I'll just keep moving on through the different people. Next, I've got you, Candy. Move on to you.
I don't do Keith because I'm holding it for Keith.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yep.
Go on,
Oh.
We can't see a thing.
10. No, 11, sorry. 11.
Okay.
12. No, 13.
Very good at adding up.
What's this? Just keep adding 1, Keith.
18.
No, 19.
17.
21.
What was that last one? 17.
17. 12.
Yeah.
11. One more.
Yeah, 6 times, Keithy.
13.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, they're not bad. You're going to be adding a couple of extra bits there anyway, Keith, so I think that should work out to be not too bad.
Candy's next.
Yeah, Candy's next.
Come on, Candy, smash that apart.
Oh, shit, that's one.
Literally off the table, yep.
Only keep it if it's a high dice, Candy. Only keep it if it's high.
What's a 6?
What's a 6?
3, 6,
No, you got to re-roll
11.
it off the table.
Yeah, I did.
10.
10.
Are you writing that down?
You only count 3.
Oh, okay.
The 3 highest.
I'm writing it down.
Of course you are.
Fucking hell.
6, 12, 16.
17.
Sorry.
Is that? Yeah, nice.
Wow.
You added all 4 together.
15.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go on, Candy.
2,
3, 6,
8.
Was that 8 on the one?
8. Yeah. Spinning. Oh, bloody hell.
No, that's still good.
12.
Yeah, not bad.
9.
9.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
What was those?
She got 10, 17, 15, 8, 12, 9.
10, 17, 15,
8, 12, 9.
And now she's gone back to her desk.
Got a room
Yeah.
tour there as well.
Right, I'm logging off this and I'm back on the computer.
Cool.
Go on, Candy.
Adam, for some reason. Oh yeah, you're there. Okay, do yours next because I can see you at the top there.
Yep.
We'll do your last.
Go on, Addy. Bring it home. Ooh.
Ad?
14.
He's muted.
14.
I'm back.
How do we watch the other people?
Click on the. Where it's
Just click on them, yeah.
9.
9.
Oh yeah.
$11.
What, are we disabled or something? Can we roll dice? Like, seriously.
You're still actually managing to break it.
I've got to buy some dice now.
10.
On my player.
And
D&D dice.
12.
these are low dice for you, Ad. I think we've always had.
I think this is my lowest I've ever rolled in this game. How many have I got to roll more? One more?
You got one more.
Come on, Ad.
But that was not the strategy right there. I'm telling you now.
Show us.
9. 9?
Bloody hell.
Now.
Brad, there's going to be a mass suicide.
I even had the Bible underneath it.
No,
One more than I did.
At the moment, you're all low, so there's only.
No, Keith's got right. So I've got 64 total. Keith got 77. Candy got 71. Adam got 65.
Okay. Did you get Chris's numbers as well, Stuart?
I
No, I didn't get
out of the
Chris's.
window.
You want me to quickly tell you them?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
please, mate.
12, 13,
Yeah,
11, 6,
yeah.
14, and 9. If you could add that for me as well, Chris. Stuart, that'd be cool.
Right, so that's 36.
Someone tell me mine.
You got 65 altogether.
David, with yours, how are you going to do yours? Have you got dice or you can do?
He ain't doing them, mate. Yeah, he's doing them tomorrow.
yeah, I've forgotten how to do it, mate. I just, yeah.
Click on your.
It's cursed today, so there you go.
Yeah,
Chris, you got 65 total as well.
I don't feel up to rolling today.
Don't worry, I'll definitely make this work.
Whose idea was it to roll?
Right, hang on, here. I'm sharing.
I think we should roll digital now, then pick the best one.
Right, I'm going live with me dice rolls on here then, yeah? So,
how do I get off of Adam now?
We do them. I've already written them down before, David.
I'm not even on anymore. What?
Huh?
I've written them ones down before, so.
Why am I not getting
dice rolls?
Just click it, Chris.
Go on, David.
Roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, where's David? There he is.
Yep.
Bloody hell.
I can't believe you're rolling so low. 16.
Not bad. 16.
The lowest I've
nice.
ever rolled.
13. Not bad. Oh, nice.
Oh, bloody hell.
Huh?
Bloody hell.
That'll do.
Come on, mate.
That'll do. Got someone at the door, I'll be back.
35.
Well done.
65.
You're our leader, David. Well done.
He is. He beat Keith by 1 point. 78 total.
You're our special needs
Stuart, total
teacher.
numbers?
Right, so I got 28 in the first bit, but 64 total. Keith got 41 in the first 3, 77 total.
So what was the first amount?
The what?
The first amount for Keith?
41.
41, okay, yeah.
41.77. Candy is 42.71.
21, yeah.
Adam is 34.65.
35.
Chris is 36.65.
36.65.
It's like fucking vital statistics. And David is a very busty 35.78.
You're the special needs teacher. You take us on.
I've never rolled that low ever.
Special needs. It's me, you, and Adam, mate. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Again, I didn't get higher than fucking 14.
Right, can Chris, Adam, and Stu, can you all roll 4 dice and add all 4 of them together and tell me what you get? Just roll them now. I don't need to see it. Just roll them, all 4 d6. Tell me what you get. What's the number you get?
Diddly.
Right.
Hold on, just got to get them all out again. I put them away.
Yeah.
Put them away.
Just get them out, bro. Just
I
get
got
them out.
13
Yeah, I was
total.
just about to. I'm packaging them up to
You
return.
got 13 total.
Yep.
All 4.
All 4 added together, yeah, man?
Yep.
All 4 added together.
And you got 13.
13.
I may not take that. I'm going to wait till it is.
And there was a 6 in there. So
Right.
Oh dear.
There was, honestly.
Right.
Well,
Total,
yeah.
11.
Oh wow.
You guys cannot roll the dice today.
we're all playing kindergarten children.
What did you get, Stu?
16.
16. Let me see the stats. Let's like that. Right. 16.
Be back in 1 minute, guys.
That's 9. Push you on 73. Stuart, take off the 5 and add that 16. That puts you on 73 in total. Puts you close to just above standard.
Oh yeah,
growth.
lovely. Thank you very much.
On top of that, I may also be giving you the points like what I was saying, the change of points.
I'd be on 39 if you were doing it your rules for that.
No, I'm not including the 5 in them free as such in that regard.
No, if I change the 5 for the 16, I've got 14, 9, and
no,
16.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean on the first 3.
Yeah, okay.
Take it as
No. Anyway, regardless, thank you.
Thank you, oh God.
Thank you.
Praise be to Jesus.
I have no idea what these mean, but I'll find out in a minute.
39, 59.
Right, Adam, I'm going to take off your 9 and give you 15.
Sweet.
So not the 13. I'm going to add it up slightly. And
I don't know what my numbers are. Someone needs to tell me because
I'll tell you, mate.
You don't want to know.
No, I don't.
Chris, I'm going to take away your 6 and put 14.
Remove the 6 and add a 14.
Yeah.
All wonderful.
So that should give you an extra 8.
I thought he was going to say remove the 11 and add 11.
I think that also puts 23 and Adam 9.
We're all between 71 now. 71's the lowest to 78.
All I've done is slightly move them closer to each other because, yeah, you broke my system. You all rolled so fucking poorly. I didn't think it was possible. I've rolled this so many times and I haven't done that bad.
72 standard array, so not that bad.
None of you have tipped over the point where you're going to need to essentially lose points. Everyone who's got what you got, you at least got what you got.
Right. Now, did you say that we could move a stat around?
All of your stats you're putting in where you want them to put them. They're not specific. So them rolls you've got there, Dave, write them down, and then you're going to put them in where you want them to go.
Can you
I've
send
put
me my
them in already.
stats?
Yeah, Adam, I'll tell you now.
Yep.
All right. 14.
Yep.
15.
Yep.
11.
Yep.
10.
Yep.
12.
Yep.
37.
What?
9.
I replaced the 9 with 15, or is that?
No, I've done that already.
You've done that already. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say
Chris, you got yours?
Yeah. 12, 13, 11, 14, 14, 9.
Yep.
Wonderful.
No, I'm happy with that.
What I'm going to then do is everyone can up 1 by 1 and minus another 1 by another 1, but Candy's going to up hers by 2 and minus by 2. What I mean by that is, Candy, is you can essentially change your points. You can put 1 up and 1 down and another 1 up, 1 down. You've essentially got 2 points to play with, but you're going to have to take 2 points away to add those 2 points.
Okay.
In any order you like. As long as you add 2 and take 2 off somewhere else in any order.
Mm-hmm.
So that the total you should end up on should be a total of, what is it, adding 273 plus 2 changes, whereas everyone else is getting 1 change. That slightly bumps you a bit up. Even though your stats didn't look too bad, essentially where I've raised everyone else up, I've gave you essentially them 2 instead of a 1. So everyone's going to get...
Hold on, if Candy up bumps hers by 2 and then removes 2, she's still at the same.
She's a 73. But
no, she's at 71. If you bump it by 2 and then remove 2.
Oh yes.
Same for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm still the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Then you can just literally add 2 to yours. 2 points. Either add 1 to 2 things or add 2. You're right, Stuart. Sorry, I didn't consider that.
Okay.
Everyone else can up by 1 and down by 1 of anything. So up by 1 and then take off a stat somewhere else. Everyone can do that. Plus, you're also going to get a possible extra stat from your feats. Plus, you've got your racial feats. So your stats shouldn't look too bad. They're not as good as you'd hope, but I don't think they're fantasy grounds dire.
I'm close.
I don't feel like you'll be once you add on some thingies, Chris.
No, not now.
You've essentially got 2 14s.
So I'll get Keith to help me with that in a minute.
I was going to be a wild shape druid again. Fucking hell.
You've potentially got, Chris, you've potentially got 2 16s there.
Andy, basically, you're able to start with a 20 stat, which is really good because you can bump your 17 to an 18, and then a racial feat will probably give you 2 to make you 20.
But you've also got a race Stuart, so potentially she could add just 1 to there and then 1 to another one.
I'm all right with me low stats.
Yeah, that's what I said. Add 1, and then a racial feat will take it to 20.
It's standard, and your stats, Chris, is higher than standard array. Standard array is 72.
Mine's not.
But I'm really not complaining. It's the dice has called it.
The main thing that happened was what I wanted to happen is that you're not all too far apart.
Yeah.
You are.
Yes, it's a nice spread.
People, yeah. I don't mind people getting a high stat. That doesn't bother me. I do want someone to have loads of high stats.
Let's talk about minus and stuff off David then, shall we? Right, David.
David Enke, 77, 78. They do have slightly better all-round stat, but even still, they're still not that great.
Right, sadly, I've got to go, but I'm going to carry on recording anyway.
Okay,
so you carry on chatting on, and I'll catch up with you later.
All right, perfect. Cheers, Stuart.
Bye. Bye.
See you later, mate.
Be right back a sec.
So in terms of your stat, if anything, what they do show
How do I get back to
down the bottom, you should have Foundry down the bottom somewhere.
Do my characters.
And I want to delete this one.
So what I would say in terms of those stats is what it does give me in mind is if you all had really high stats, I would have been less likely to put stats.
Do you want to delete that one?
Yeah, I'll delete that one.
Delete that one. Go and delete it. Go back.
When did this finish? I know you're not facing Chelsea
this weekend.
I think Adam's already most worried because he's never had such low stats.
I'm not. I'm below standard array.
Don't worry, Adam.
as well. 2-1.
I don't even know what I'm putting you in now. I'm like.
Fair enough.
I will have a look just to make sure.
No,
And I may
go
add
right.
to everyone or something.
Go back. I do abilities.
I did have an expectation in mind of what I expected you to get to, so I may.
So do choose method. And do manual roll. So then you just put your stuff in.
Right, so I don't know what hand so you can show me.
Who's having a fight somewhere?
Darren and Callum.
Okay, tell them to go and fight in the front room.
No, I've got my TV in there. Fuck off.
Tell them to go and fight in the garden then, just somewhere where we can't hear them.
Mine, yeah.
So you can just so ask us. You can just put 2 stats up.
I can just put 2 stats up, yeah.
Put either 2 up by 1 or 1 stat up by 2.
Okay, I can put 2 up by 1 or 1 stat by 2.
All right.
So I've got 2 points to put on.
Right.
Just write it down for now, Candy. Just put it to one side. I've done the same.
Yeah, I'm not doing mine either. I got to think about mine. Good half thing.
Yeah. I don't have to do it now. They said just leave it written down and do it when I'm ready.
Yeah, true.
Two stats up by 1 or 1 stat up by 2.
Back in a minute, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Brad, I'm happy, mate, yeah?
I still may raise you because, as I said, I had an expectation of what I wanted you all to be.
Okay.
I
am happy.
I'm not completely sure you're where I want you to be.
Okay.
One of them you may get put on another we get for a pound.
I'm expecting Chelsea to annihilate us.
Fair enough. Second one though, Theo gets me Man United. If I actually rate that, I wouldn't put that score.
That's back.
Well done to David. They've done well.
And we have to put a stat up and then put a stat down, yeah?
You can. You don't have to.
Right. Okay.
So effectively, you can move something from something, 1 point from something to another thing, that kind of thing. But like I said, I did have an expectation on what I wanted you guys to meet. So now that I've kind of got a balance, there is a chance I may potentially give you all a little boost.
Can't we just do that as a practice roll?
Chris, do you want to trade stats?
It's more so I'm happy enough that you're balanced as a party in terms of your stats. That's more so what I wanted. So now, like I said, I may essentially just add a boost to everyone. Because I don't know if you quite hit. I didn't think it would quite be that low. There are some that are okay, but there was more lower ones than I was expecting. So Adam, I've got a total for you of 71.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Standard array 72.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is the lowest I've ever played with.
Welcome to us.
Yeah, you're all cursed. That's what it is. I don't know what to be in this game. You're like wafting onto me with your curse.
Welcome, Adam.
In fantasy grounds, I haven't got. I've got a plus stat in everything, but my highest stat is 16.
Grab your wheelchair. We're going to adventure.
No. Stop.
I was my phone leaves.
What's that, boys? He's all right. He's a big boy. I'm not even going to get an 18, am I?
You're worried about an 18. I'm barely getting a 16.
but you got a 15.
Yeah.
I've only got 2 14s again. There's fucking 14s in the game. What's the 14s?
Yeah, 14 is a definite 16 because every class has a +2 and every race has a +2.
I would really like to start a game with fucking 18 stat. no, I'm not going to get it. That's fine.
No, like I said, Chris, I may be adding Sane Con, and if I do it, it'll be all of you get a boost kind of thing because it is lower than I expected.
Yeah. I think my first ever roll for Kal-El was my highest that I got. Well done, Keith.
Does Keith get a +1 and a -1? Because he get to a 20. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he can technically get to 21.
Keith, you're the school teacher, and we're all the kindergartens. and it's basically on a school trip. We're not even playing D&D. We're on a school trip. Make sure all of your characters are 5. Maybe good.
And we're going swimming with armbands.
Yeah, unicorn armbands. I'm all for it.
There you go, bud. We're happy with our stats as well with unicorn armbands.
Yeah, I know, but I might not be happy with them because, as I said, I'm expecting to have
You're not happy with my unicorn armbands? What's wrong with you?
Must be frustrating for the DMs to just go, oh, fuck's sake.
I'm an idiot.
Fucking hell, again. I put in a whole rule to make sure this wouldn't happen and you still fucked it.
So are you using encumbrance with coins and stuff in this?
Your general coins is what I've said is no. So I'm roughly expecting you to hold up to about 500 without it affecting your weight. I may go over. There isn't a set amount specifically, but if you go and you find a hoard that's got 2,000 coins in it, and one person wants to pick them all up, then I will hamper you for it.
Yeah.
So as I said, I don't want you to have all the constant changes and worried about having a certain amount of coinage. You should have enough to be able to survive normally, but you will have to think about if you get a nice chunk of coins, where are they going to go, kind of thing. But by that point, you may have bags of holding, you may have places to store it. That's the hope on my end. unless you're all useless and carry on with these kind of stats.
I think I'm going to use the computer dice next.
Yeah, I'm going to use computer dice, and he aced it. He got the highest amount with the computer dice.
What's this next part? People re-rolling or something already?
No, not re-rolls.
Yeah, my character kills himself in creation.
No, we just broke his whole system.
You did.
Only up. Even with support.
It was well done, guys. It was well done.
We couldn't have planned that any better.
Yeah, I think you were trying for it. The only person who didn't was Adam and Stuart, technically. But I've just given both of them more than the points they would have gained anyway, so there's no point even looking at that. They went that much lower than my system.
Leave me alone.
I
just feel like I'm getting cyberbullied now. Like...
Mine would have been alright without the 8 and the 9.
Right, okay, looking at all the stats, I made a decision. Everyone gets to add 2 points additional to what they've got.
What, including me?
Everyone, all of you.
Do I get minus one?
So I get to add 4.
Higher, so everyone gets an extra 2 points. Can either be 1 point on something, 1 point on something, or 2 points on something. That's everyone.
So do I get an extra 4 then altogether?
Altogether, yeah. So whatever you've just put on a minute ago, so add another 2 points somewhere. One.
You can't go above 20.
Yeah, you can't go above 20.
Item says so, or Billy.
But also beware that if you now pick your race and that takes you over 20, that also can't happen. So 20 is the maximum you can start the game with, essentially.
Okay.
And have in general.
So I've got plus 4 basically.
Maybe you'd be better to look at a secondary stat or something like that, or a third stat, that kind of thing.
Cool.
I think a +2 should get you all
plus 2 on that.
So the ones that rolled well have actually
maybe put a +2 on that.
I didn't want to repeat one.
Just one, so that's a 10.
And then put 1 onto that.
But also the ones who have rolled +2.
Then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's got +1. That's got +2. That's got +1. Right.
Just turning Keith and Candy down a little bit while we're all...
So he was just sitting next to me also.
No,
I know. It's cool, but when you two are chatting together, I can't hear anyone else.
Are you not meant to?
We'll probably have to get used to the sound levels anyway.
Yeah, no, I just need to lower it up and down for this particular channel, don't I? That's all.
It's a shame you can't set them for... Is it per channel? It isn't per channel, is it? I think it's
No,
per
it's
user.
not.
So when you go in another one, all of a sudden you got up and down them again. I wish it was per channel.
So I could...
So yeah, if anyone can...
I could have my intelligence on 20, couldn't I?
Yes, you could. And if anyone has that, I'm not afraid to let people have a 20 to start the game. That doesn't bother me. I just wanted people to have a low sides as well and not all high sides kind of thing. I'd rather people have low and high than someone have all high kind of thing. I just wanted to be balanced. And I feel like it is balanced. And like I said, I'm adding the 2 to everyone to get them to the point where I feel like everyone should have at least 1 good stat or 2.
Right, just so I can clarify, do I get the +1 and the -1 and a +2, or is it just a +2?
Yes, the +1 and the -1 and the +2.
Okay, perfect. I'm happy.
Well, the only thing that would have been concerned, the only thing that concerned me would be the fact that I wouldn't take a feat again in a game.
No, that's why I've added some more stats on in that sense.
It's like, fuck's sake, another game with feats and I can't take one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, you're going to get a free feat as well, Chris, which essentially potentially gives you another point if you pick a feat with a point bonus in it as well. So there's more chance of getting... So essentially, right now, you've got 2 + 1 for the majority of majority races. Some races have +2 +2. So you're going to get at least 3 with an extra potential 1 to get from a feat, possibly.
Cool.
Adam, I want you to add an extra 1 because you didn't... I basically pushed everyone over standard array, but I didn't push you over it. So 1 extra for you had, so that's 3.
That's okay.
Because you were the lowest, and I wanted everyone to at least hit standard array.
I'm 1 over standard array with an extra 1. Yeah, you know that. Yeah, I think I am. No, you're 2 over.
I think that's it there, babe.
Okay, that's perfect.
That's mine.
And I can add like 1 1 1. It doesn't have to be a 3 to 1, does it?
No, it can be 1 1 1.
It's a lot of thinking to do now.
Added ones on.
What cheating things have you got, Adam?
So, Stuart,
I don't cheat.
I made a decision on everyone. Everyone gets to add an extra additional +2. So it's either +1 or +2.
You've now got 11.
Sorry, say that again.
So everyone is getting across the board an extra 2 stats. So you either add +2 to say or +1/+1. Because all of you rolled lower than I was expecting. If that gets you
He's really not happy about that, are you?
I'm not, I can't believe that. I really tried hard to make sure that didn't happen.
Well, as I said, we could always use that as a practice roll.
But in fairness, they were at least balanced. Like, they weren't all over the place, thankfully. I didn't have like 4 of you high and 2 of you dire low. You were all like the ones who did okay were hovering mid-range, and the ones who did dire did dire. So if I push you all up a little bit, I feel like that gets me to where I wanted to.
I'm happy now.
Well, like Chris said as well, is I don't want you to not take feats just because you have to take ability points, and I'm prepared for you to have somewhat higher ability points.
I'm still going to have a minus.
Across the board ability points.
I'm still going to have a minus.
All of you have got
I'm
a minus.
going to embrace my minus.
I am as well.
And I tried not to impede anyone who did roll well. All those who rolled well still kind of have rolled well. Because that essentially now puts David on 80.
Well, I've gone from having 3 stats below 10 to 3 16s.
Yeah, if you need to. But you've also got a 9 in there, haven't you? 2 9s.
Yeah, I took off an 11 and made a 10.
There you go. Yeah, and that's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy with that. As long as you've got some downs and some ups, I don't mind if you've got some ups. That's fine by me. I'm happy enough with that.
I got 3 16s, 2 10s, and a 9.
So the way it should now be is everyone should be at least 75 points and 79 and 80 respectively for the 2 who had rolled particularly higher.
I'm 75 now. So is that standard array, is it?
No, that's pretty hard standard array. I wanted you to be above
standard array.
Never mind, as long as it meant. As I'm saying, as long as I wanted you above standard array, as long as you had something still low. That was what my mind was in terms of what I wanted you guys to have as stats. And as I said, at least what was good for me was your stats are balanced as a party. There's no one with really good and no one with really poor. So I'm more.
I didn't want to go for another game where, I didn't want to not take a feat.
No, exactly.
And I've never used feats.
Stuart, you've still got potentially 2 points to come from your race, plus another point from your race, or 2-2, and then you've potentially got 1 to come from the feat. If you take a feat, that gives you an extra point in something. So there's potential 4 or 5 points still left on the table. You probably couldn't hear that, but it is recorded. So in terms of most of the things I wanted to go over for session 0, that's most of all the expectations, rules, stuff like that I wanted to go through. That's characters done. The other thing I want you to consider is you're starting at level 2. So if I haven't already done anything with you regarding level 2 starting equipment, roughly, this is the idea that you're roughly going to be starting 100 gold pieces more better off than you would be at level 1. That could potentially be something in terms of item. Common magic items may be possible. So give that a little bit of extra fall. If I've already given you something, then I might not give you the full 100, but I may still give you 80 or something else like that. So keep that in mind when making your character. If there's something specific you really like clothes that can't get dirty, that's potentially possible.
You say common items?
Common magical items. Common magical items are stuff like clothes that don't get dirty.
Below.
Yes. How about the javelin with the lightning bolt?
I'm sorry to say, Chris, but that's a bit more expensive than 100.
Nah, let me have it.
As I said, that also depends on your narrative, your character, your backstory, that sort of stuff. I may potentially give you more, but that's all going to depend on what your story is.
It's an Olympic javelin, mate. That's what it is.
He's been working his whole life to get that javelin. Yeah. I may have to put it in the game, Chris, just for you, and then break it.
Yeah, exactly. And then realise that I can't fucking use it, and it works better with someone else.
No, I'm going to make it so it's restricted to only you, Chris. So if you're a cleric, I'm going to make it cleric. Yeah. Give it to you, and I'm going to make you throw it across the sky so it disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be so upset.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
Oh man!
With your levels, if you all rolled high, I would have been less likely to put magic items in it that increase his stat. So effectively, I consider you somewhere about middle, is what I would hope of what you would have been on.
No, that's brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. That's excellent. Like I've got those extra points.
Like I said, I'm not afraid to have you guys having 20s or some high stats as long as you had low. That was my main thing I wanted.
Yeah, no, great.
So the last thing I've pretty much got for you is I've got on Foundry. I'm going to now switch you to the level that I was making, which will give you more of an idea in terms of how light and dark works and sounds and stuff like that. So I'm going to move you all over to a new map and let you walk.
Just an announcement. Amazon original, The Legend of Vox Machina. There's a stream live on Friday, October the 8th.
Ooh.
There you go.
Interesting. Vox Machina, specifically back then, that one.
The animation, mate.
Oh. Ooh.
The animation.
When? What time?
The 8th of October, David.
8th of October.
Yeah.
You.
I'll probably post it up anyway.
Yeah,
so the map I've got.
Will do, mate.
So the map I've got that I'm going to put you on, effectively I've got two of them. One of them is low quality, one of them is high quality. I'm going to shove you all over to high quality, so let me know how long it takes, because I would rather use this quality, because the other quality I will show you at some point in a minute, but I want to move you all over to this one now. So hopefully I'm about to move you all over. Let me know if it takes ages.
Hey, I like the name, mate.
You should all have a character, and I'm happy to and explore the scene. That's the main reason what I've done this for, is for you now to walk around a scene and get a sense of how light works, how sound works, and things like that.
Oh, where's Stuart?
He's covering up the wyvern at the moment.
I can always show Stuart this at another point through the week or something if need to.
So Brad, I'm sticking with what I was going with, because those stats sort of fall right where I want them to.
Yeah.
You know, I can hear the crowd.
But that's what I was saying. You
very loud.
Them stats you had, David, that was roughly what I was hoping everyone would get to about. They would have kind of started what I was hoping people would have. Because as I said, the way I play it, I want you to not have to need to progress to play it. I want you to be able to enjoy it at the level you are.
How do I turn the sound down?
The sound? Which one? So over on your right-hand side, you'll have like a little music note. And then you'll have a music note on the right-hand side. And then you'll have some global volume controls. The ambient is the main one you're hearing. Playlists will probably be louder, so you're going to keep that a little bit lower. And the interface probably is irrelevant.
There you go.
So
I can hear people now.
That's what I was going to say. Keep it at a level that makes sense, because I can't determine how high or low it's going to sound for you lot. I have volume leveled it for what I can hear, but it may sound different for you lot. So you'll have to do your own volumes. But do be aware I am going to use music in game, which goes through playlists, and I'm going to use ambient sounds through ambient. If you walk around in here, you're going to hear some other noises as well.
Well, I'm still at 80% loading, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyone in yet?
Gildan, by the looks of it, he's got a
80%.
Guild Master.
No, I don't think
the only one in at the moment.
I've seen none of you move yet. That's what I'm saying. This one is a higher level in terms of what I put the quality. I wanted to tell if this is too long, it'll be a shame. But I have got to fiddle with it some more and see if I can still get this level of quality at lower settings. I may be able to do. I just didn't do it today. I just chose one that was high and one that was low. The one that was low I'll show you in a minute, and you can see why I don't want to use it. If I need to, I can, and it should load a lot faster. I think this one's
the thing is, but if something looks beautiful, I don't mind waiting.
Well, that's the other thing I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Also, as I'm talking, I can potentially talk through and kind of mask the loading bit a bit for you. So I would rather use, if I'm building them in nice high quality, I'd rather you get to see them in nice high quality. But obviously, we'll see how long this takes. We'll see how long it takes. And I might be able to find the middle ground.
Especially as this might very well be our headquarters, by the looks of it. It has to be the best.
David's already making a story already.
We'll be right back 2 minutes while it's loading in.
It's got his own little fucking tavern as well, David has.
David's narrative mission is searching the world for the Wyvern Tavern, which is not good.
It'll be on an alternative plane. What was that one where it was a magician, wasn't it? Where that inn is a multi-dimensional tavern.
Oh yeah.
in
Yeah,
Magician.
maybe I'll put it in. I'll send the game so it goes somewhere to a parallel world, and you'll be like, "It's there," and then I'll suck you out of parallel world. And
Put it in the Happy Fun Ball, Brett.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm sure I'll name one in honor of it, David, somewhere.
Or in the mouth of a dead Leviathan.
So pretty much most of what I wanted to go through in session 0, I got your roles, gone through a lot of the rules and everything, and pretty much I just wanted to show off this kind of last one or such. Is anyone still taking the time?
Yep, still taking
Yeah, I'm
time.
not in yet.
80% still Brad over here, mate.
98% here.
Some of the things is where you're all loaded at the same time and stuff like that. I do have a thing that I should have tried, which was preload. I can make it preload it.
I do have a request though before we start actually playing this game. Can I spend some time customizing stuff on this? Because I like colours when I get my character. I like to do colours, dice, and all that.
Yeah, there'll be time. Yeah, I'll be on multiple times doing stuff, so you guys can jump in.
Because I don't want to take people's time up me trying to choose.
No, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. If people want to do that sort of thing, then I'm more than happy for people to do that sort of thing. They can do it in between when I'm on, and as I said, I'll be on lots of times because I'll be adding stuff. I still have a ton to do. One of the things I've got to do is the status symbols. That it's changed, but I've added a module where I can change them, but I've got to change each one individually. It's going to be a nuisance, but once I've done it, it's done. So yeah, we'll get it done. No one's still loaded. This one to get to a longer end of what I wanted it to be.
I'm in.
You're in?
I want to know. So
you will come in.
Why is it
now one by one? Yeah, add. I see you.
Bradley, could you also put a bit of music? Do your music thing on this?
There is music in it.
Oh, I'm in. That was quick. That was 80, and
There
then
is music in it. If you move around your character, you'll hear it. At the moment, obviously, you're not in, Chris, but when you walk around, you will hear it.
Okay, cool.
Those who are in after have the opening and close. I can only apologise for that. Or the lights will all come in at once, but that.
I'm in the inn. It's nice.
I think I'm the only one who's not in yet. I sit on the world map. Oh yeah, okay. I think you're coming in though too.
No, I'm not coming in yet. I don't know what's going on with my fucking thing.
I'm slowly getting there.
Hey, 100%.
As each one gets in, I think the others speed up a bit.
You're going to bed now, baby. 9 o'clock. I have half a screen.
Oh, this is lovely. Look at this.
Half a screen, you probably might mean in.
I like the fact that you can open up the doors. Can you close them again?
Oh, you can interact with the stuff as well.
Yeah, you can close the doors.
I have a whole screen.
So with chest
Right, so
plate-
Candy, if you look down the bottom, you should be able to see someone who's you, and it means you should be able to move them around with the arrow keys or WSD. As you move around, you'll see some doors and windows you can open and move through them. If you can't move through it, it's because it's closed, so you open it and you'll be able to walk through it.
Okay.
So have a little look around, and as I said, this level of detail is what I was trying to achieve. I may need to go lower, but I still have some room to play. I just went with one that was high to start, so hopefully. That's not you. That's just your cursor. So you are. Oh no, that is you. Yes, you are.
Candy's in there, yeah.
I'm in now. I'm
Yeah,
having a
she
look.
is.
I'm having a nosy.
I'm the lock Candy in.
Hey.
This is kind of like, this isn't a huge map. This is the kind of map
I locked you
with
in
a
again.
lot of
Gotcha.
stuff on it. Which effectively, this is kind of probably a standardized map I'll use, unless I need a large map.
Let's play hide and seek. Who can find me?
Oh dear.
I can.
I'm behind the bar.
So you also see that the walls are all working properly, the invisible walls working properly, the doors are working properly. There's multiple instances of sounds that are directional, as in the closer you move to them, the more you'll hear them. As well as doors that open and close, windows that open and
There
close.
you
You can go out the windows.
I'm in the loop, please. Thank you.
Can't believe you're going to toilet in the stables.
Yeah, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
I was going to add some, but I was running out of time. I was going to add some at the north there for the back door.
Oh, she's singing. Lovely little lady over here singing. I'll come over here. You got to bring your characters.
On D&D Beyond, how do we get to go into your campaign?
So the best way of doing it on D&D Beyond is as soon as you start right at the very top, you've got collections, which is your stuff. And if you go, you've got your characters and your campaigns. So go to collections, then campaigns. When you're there, you'll see a campaign, which for you is probably only one, which is Luminor, and you just do view campaign. So is everyone in? Are you in?
I can't hear any singing.
You're in?
We'll listen to the lovely lady singing.
I can't hear her.
You can't hear her. Have you got your ambient sounds too low?
I've got it all the way up.
And you can't hear her. Where are you?
Oh, now I can, I think. No.
What are you?
Oh, no.
Luminor, innit?
Yeah.
I'm now stuck.
How did you get stuck?
I can't move. That's how
Use
I'm
your
stuck.
WASD.
I'm no longer stuck.
I would suggest using WSD should be an easier thing to move, because if you move with the mouse, you can potentially go across and bounce into the wall and it won't let you move at all. So I'd say using the arrow keys or the WSD to move will make you have less problems with the walls.
Except for you can't. Oh, no, let's try opening the door.
She's on a fucking track, this woman.
No, I can't hear her at all. She's not. There's nothing like singing to me at all, mate.
You can't hear her.
No.
Bro, sang better, David.
Where are you? I can't see you,
She
David.
don't like you.
I'm right where Chris
Oh,
is.
that's you. Yeah. Press F5, David. Press F5. See if it
You're
refreshes.
gonna throw me out the game.
No. It's just you who gets F5. Press F5 and it should reset you. But everyone should be able to hear the sounds.
And she dimmens when you go away from her, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I'm taking damage, huh? No.
Nope, you can't take any damage here.
Try and stand in and fight, Chris.
Only it sounds.
So I can hear the the inn,
Yeah.
but I can't hear her singing at all.
Odd. I might have to work out why that is.
She's not singing now.
Are you near the stage?
Character death?
Yeah.
That she is.
You're standing close enough that you should easily hear her. From
I can hear where I am.
She's singing the waving in song. David, you're missing it, mate.
Clicking on video configuration, but it's not going into it.
What's that?
I'm clicking on the audio configuration, but it's not going into it.
It should have just a drop-down box. That should be the main thing you see. Where's the audio?
It's not giving me nothing.
I don't think you majorly need it. That's mostly the audio configuration is mostly for cameras and voice activated.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
So I don't think there's an awful lot you can do. There is an audio output device, but that's the only thing in there you'd actually need.
I can sort of hear her.
Move nearer to her. It's location based. Whereabouts are you?
Is that her there on the stage?
So what I'd say is if you can't hear her, you may need to turn something up, because some people will be able to hear things more or less depending on your computer. That's also why I did this, was to get it so you could level what the sound was.
Yeah, check your mixer as well, maybe.
Yeah, check things like your mixer, because you're essentially for a web page. If you've ever turned your web page mixer down, that could be what's dimmed you all the way down.
Yeah, I'll have a look now.
Same with you, David. Check that on you as well, because you might be hearing. She is louder than the in sounds you can hear if you're near to her.
Oh, there you go. Bloody hell, Chrome was down. That's why. Oh, that's
it's using the sound that you would use in a browser. So at some point you may have potentially have changed it, and that could be what's messing it up.
There you go.
But if you now walk away, Keith, you'll hear it change levels.
I've turned ambient sound down.
Ambient one is the one it's running on. So ambient is the lady.
I can still hear her, and I'm outside.
Yeah, you will be able to
Okay,
just
there
hear
we
her.
go.
You should be able to just hear her, Keith. If you can just hear her, that's what I'm hearing.
Nope,
I can hear her
still
now.
hear her fine.
Yeah, you got it too loud then, Keith.
No, I've got mine on 3.
That's what I'm saying. You may still have it too loud, but that's what I'm saying. It's dependent on your sound on your computer. There's no way I can level all of your sounds. Because it's for a browser, it means I don't have that level of control. I can only set. So these sounds are leveled to me. I can hear these sounds. And I've put them somewhere in what I would hope would be the middle. I've turned them down on my end and turned up up. So I've hopefully leveled it. And hopefully everyone will be able to hear it. I don't know. David, you still not got the lady singing?
Yeah, I've got the lady singing now. I just turned my speakers up.
Cool. So what I would suggest is currently where Stuart's standing right now, outside on that road, you pretty much should just not be able to hear her. That's the level of sound that I'm working off of. So I can't hear her. I'm just out. I imagine if I move Stuart to the door. Yeah.
It's a door.
I can still hear her where I am right now.
Yep, same here.
That means you're too loud in terms of your volume. Turn your volume
It's
down
not
a
even
bit.
went down at all though.
I don't care. I like the sound.
The reason why I'm trying to level this is because if I play some audio, it might blow your ears off.
My slider, is almost at the bottom, Brad. Like, can't go any lower.
Yours is almost at the bottom.
Yeah, my slider.
And you
Like,
can still hear her.
yeah, my physical slider.
I've got this coming through my speakers, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
now it's when I think it just took a minute to go down at all.
It is a big scene because of how much is going on in it. So there is potential there could be some things happening in terms of lag that makes it drop and stuff like that. Again, that's why I'm trying to test these sort of things.
Yeah, I mean, from the door and over here, it's about the same, but I can just about hear it with the slide all the way down.
So the gradients it should step up in, and it should be a couple of gradients that it should step up in, at least 3 or 4, from where Stuart is. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's how it is right now for me.
If you're happy with that, that's fine. But that's what I was mainly playing it for, was so that you can get a sense on when I use ambient sounds. I'll use ambient sounds for nighttime outside, when you're making camp, when it starts raining, when it thunderstorms. I'll be trying to use ambient sounds for all these different things. When you get in a fight, I'll potentially use some sort of battle music and stuff, which runs on the playlist, not ambient sounds. So I was just trying to level it for you all in that sense.
Can't jump over the counter.
Say that again?
Can't jump over the counter.
No, there's invisible walls by the counter. You can see over it, but you can't move through it. If you needed to, Keith, put you at the counter. Where are you?
I'm next to the barkeep.
What kind of see this camera here? So potentially I can move across it like this.
Yeah.
So if you jumped across the counter, I could move you across the counter. So that's why it's that way. So it is possible. Can you do it? You can't move yourself across the counter, can you?
Nah.
Yeah. That's how it should be. So essentially, if you do need, for some reason, like as I said, if you say I'm going to swing at the man behind the bar, I may put you on the other side of the counter and then you're on that side. So it can be done.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do for the purpose of Stuart and him watching the video, if he comes back and watches the video, I'm going to move him now. I'm just going to move him so he can hear the sound. She stopped singing for a moment. I think she has. Yeah, she has.
No, she's still singing him, I think.
Yeah, no, there's a level of which it loads. I'd imagine there'd be some. They won't be exactly on point, I don't think. Also, most of this is lit as well. The majority of it is lit, so you're not seeing proper darkness. There is also walls on the fireplace, so you can't walk into the fire. So I have no idea if Stuart could have heard that, but effectively I moved him nearer for the purpose of getting him to view what's going on in terms of sound. But like I said, sound is something that I do like to use. So where I can, sometimes it can be difficult. There is potential I may not use times, but overall I do like to use sound to create a scene. There is also exterior walls around outside the map, so you can't walk outside the map. In terms of doors, remember the incident that happened in Fantasy Grounds? For those who don't know the incident that happened in Fantasy Grounds, when you're all moving around and you're all wiggling around, and then all of a sudden you go to walk to a door and there's something behind the door, I can potentially do this. So now none of you can move. So rather than me say stop and you'll wiggle around, I will just stop all you with that. This is me just pressing space.
That's cheating.
No, that is the DM's. That probably.
But Brad, my character's a Time Lord. That doesn't work on him.
Let's see if it doesn't then. Go on, move. Let's see if your Time Lord can beat the gods of the DM.
So the other thing, like I was saying, was you didn't know about the dice thing I've added. I've also added, now you've got the means to draw, so if everyone wants to go nuts and attempt to draw something, you'll see it comes up in your own colour. I really should change my colour.
Oh, I've done it in the darkness. Who's my colour now? It's Adam, isn't it?
You're my colour, actually. Thank you very much.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, Adam.
And I'm offended by it.
So I don't think you can delete each other's, if I'm right in thinking. Can you delete someone else's one? Okay, good. That's good. I can delete all of them, that's fine, and you should be able to delete your own ones. To delete your own drawing, if you click on the little box, that is just like when you're selecting a character, the one that's got the 4 little angled corners. If you click on that, you can select the whole lot and delete all what you've done, or you can click individually on one of the bits of drawing, and it will individually take that one bit away. Are you there, Candy? Are you playing with it to see what's happening? Keith, did I lose Candy? Oh no, there you go. Fair enough. So of course you've seen it before. I'm going to switch it to day.
Sorry, I was eating, so.
No, that's fine. I'm also going to switch it to day so you can see it in the daytime, and you'll see all the lights go off. But because I've made you all trusted players, it means you've got some extra different things you can do, such as the drawing. Adam, in terms of what you was doing as a trusted player before with changing your character, I've disabled that.
I noticed. As soon as you put us in this, I knew.
There's no reason why.
Sorry, how do I delete my writing?
So you can, as long as you're on the drawing icon, the next little line of windows that turn up, one of them's for drawing, one's for shapes. If you go to the top one of those, which looks like 4 little corners, that selects a drawing. You can select all of your drawings and delete them.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can click on just your drawing and it will delete just your drawing.
Right, so I've clicked on it, now what?
Press delete.
Press delete.
Once it shows it, press delete and it will delete yours.
It shows it, but I can't see a delete button.
No, on your keyboard.
Delete. Delete button.
Oh,
delete.
on my keyboard.
Yeah, delete or backspace.
Oh, okay, yep, got it.
That's fine. Everyone else
Sorry.
has they've all seen it already. So another thing, Candy, that you're going to want to see, because it's going to be important to you, is on the left-hand side, the little one looks like a set square, 2 little rulers making an angle.
Yep.
That one is for essentially making circles, cones, squares, and lines. So that's what someone's going nuts with.
Yeah.
Is that you going?
Yeah, that's Adam.
How do I get rid of it? Wait.
If you're on the am I on the right one? Delete. No, I'm pressing the wrong button. So if you're on the selection tool, which allows you to do this, if you hover over it so it goes orange, and then press delete on your keyboard, that will remove it. So you have to be on the tool, the same tool that it is. If you're on the drawing tool, you won't be able to do it. But if you're on the same tool, when you hover over it, it go orange.
Are these
when
mine?
You press delete, it will remove it.
These aren't mine, apparently.
I done some circles, but I don't know. Oh, there we go. Aha.
So hover over the last one there, Candy, and then press delete on it.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
And that's going to be very relevant for you because you're going to have a lot of spells if you're going spells. That's going to have a lot that are going to have areas and stuff. But there's another thing you're going to want to look at first. So that's how you do the areas. If you go back to the top little person, the little figure icon, you've got a ruler. And that ruler, you can click on a square and then move it across, and it will give you a measurement. So that's how you work out what your range to an area is.
Oh yeah.
So obviously you might want to put it on you.
That's
if you're
25 feet.
Yeah, so if you're casting, you may want to put it on you, but at the same time, you might want to measure what someone else is doing. So you can potentially do that sort of thing as well.
Okay. Yep.
There'll probably be some more.
What's the target? Select targets.
You don't have to worry about the select targets. Select targets is if I was making this more automatic, like how we play Fantasy Grounds.
Right.
So that everything would then start to take off hit points and all that sort of stuff. But we're not going to be using it that way. We're going to be using it in a more pen and paper way, which means essentially rather than waiting for the system to add up all these sort of things, which it does nice and quickly, but it's more complicated for people to understand and people forget. So I'm going to play it more like pen and paper in that I'm going to roll dice and take off all my creature things, maybe on paper, and you guys are only going to use your character sheets on D&D Beyond to essentially up and down your hit points and change things there, because I can see them all from there. But once you've got your character done on D&D Beyond, and maybe another point between now and we play, I'll go through D&D Beyond more with you as well and show you how that works. Do you know if Keith's got Beyond 20, which is an extension for Chrome or Firefox? Do you know if he's done that for you? Have you had that yet?
There you go.
So have you got Beyond 20 as an extension?
Not yet.
It's the thing that essentially allows you to use D&D Beyond in Foundry. It links the two together.
I'll get Keith to sort that out.
Yeah, I think the link is still in thingy.
I've got D&D Beyond on another webpage.
Yeah, that's fine. But what we're going to be doing is in D&D Beyond, when you've got this extension in Chrome or Firefox, what happens is in D&D Beyond where you've got all your stats, it's going to come up as you hover over one of them. It's going to come up with like a little dice with a B in it, and what that means is you click on it there, and it will roll the dice into Foundry so everyone can see it.
Right.
So that's what we're going to use for the majority. But at times, if I ask for just a D20 roll, you can potentially just straight roll that in Foundry if you want with the simple dice roller that we showed you earlier. On top of that, guys, I haven't showed you some of the other stuff you can do. I didn't get time to make a second floor. If I'd done a second floor, I am going to look to show you hopefully some point soon, which is you can walk between floors. So as you walk to the stairs, it will put you at the top of the stairs, that kind of thing. I'm going to have to figure out how I can do it, though, because if you only want to walk halfway up and it sticks you at the top, I'll have to figure that out. So, for me to remove all drawings, it's like that. No, I removed all of you lot.
Nice.
There you go, put your back. I'll go on to the drawing one.
Can you control Z on this then?
I'm still learning, look, blimey. What's that?
You can control Z then, I assume.
Yes, I can.
That's
thankfully.
nice.
Yeah, because otherwise that would be quite a nuisance. The other good thing is obviously I can see colours, so I can see who's doing what sort of thing. I don't think you can change colours, can you? The only way you can change colours is by going to your character and changing it there.
You can, I mean, you can go to like your use config and change it.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only way of changing your colours. So it's a bit of a nuisance for you to do. So you can also do.
Yeah, I'm not changing it because everything's got to go with my character and themed.
I know, of course. What I mean is for people to be trolling other people.
Mine's already themed, Chris.
There you go. You can do text.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't think you want text though.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I
No,
remember
you're
before we
probably-
used to like label on like if we had a big map. But I don't
Yeah,
know if
you're
we
probably
had
gonna
that.
want. You're probably gonna want to use the journal more so.
Right. Oh yeah, that's way
Journal
better.
you can
Yeah.
make- Basically, you can get the journal, and you can set it yourself, and then I can change that so it sets to everyone if it needs to be that kind of thing. So another thing I'm going to show you as well is let's go. So I can do all this kind of stuff as well, which is quite nice. So I go here. I can. Where is it? Oh, no, I did it before. Is it that one?
You haven't watched the EXL yet, have you? EXU, Adam?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Oh, I haven't got that. Okay, so I need to have that link. That's a nuisance. I've got to remember to do this each time. I've got to log in like you've got to log in as well. Where's the thing? Game master. I might be about to do that actually. So,
Yeah, I started writing all this down. I didn't realise it was DM notes, Brad. I was writing down everything you were saying. I didn't realise it was DM notes.
Oh, what bit?
So, Brad, when do you want to discuss with me about my character?
Probably from this point onwards, whenever you feels best. I'm around, possibly in the day, possibly in the afternoon. So whenever you feel is going to be best, we can go for it. I'm happy with whenever that's going to be. So if you want to come up with a time, or if you want to catch me when I'm on, either one, I don't mind. We've probably got at least a week, if not 2, before we actually get to the point of starting the game anyway. So
No,
there's
but
no
I'm
immediate
impatient and want to get things done.
Yeah. There's no I'm about to do something that's going to knock you all out. You can just log back in.
Rude.
Are you available over the weekend?
What's this weekend? Not on Sunday.
Not on Saturday.
What's Saturday? Oh, Saturday. No, yeah, Saturday and Sunday. I'm pretty much out.
Same as my husband then.
Yeah, he is as well. He's with me. Alright, so let me quickly remove this. So, as I said, I'm still learning certain things. Foundry, I only know so much. I'm still testing things there myself.
Deleted everything there.
One of the things I'm now doing is again.
Adam, get your cards, mate. Magic.
What?
End of season, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I'm stopping recording.